In this brand new entertainment series for the Digimon TCG, I'll be going through with custom cards I have created and real cards I've put through a custom card generator, having people go through and identify whether this is a real or fake card. Anything on the card can be modified, whether it is the play cost, evo cost, name, level, inheritable, mainline text, effects, security effect of a card, etc. The only thing not up for grabs is the name of the artist. As much as we love them, I'm not quizzing people on the name of the artist. If you guys enjoy this content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Good morning, everyone. EagleX from ATX EagleX Gaming here today. I have another episode of How Well Do You Know the Digimon TCG? Here I have a special guest, DigiPanda, if you want to say hello.
Hello! Thank you for having me on here today, Eagle.
No problem. This is something that I've kind of been talking with Panda about for a bit, just collaborating with the video, and this would be a fun way, I think, to kind of get started with doing this little series here for our second episode. My friend Landon did the first episode. He went through, he had a lot of fun and laughs, and I just love to see some more reactions from other creators. Anyways, quick highlight for what we're doing. We're going to go through 15 cards here. DigiPanda is going to take a guess if it is a real or fake card. If he can identify if it's real or fake correctly, he'll get a point, along with identifying what is incorrect if it is fake for another point. With that being said, we can go ahead and leave it along with you, Panda, here. Here is the first card.
100%. This card is 100% real. Because, guys, if you haven't noticed, if you enjoy this type of content, do consider liking this video, subscribing to Eagle's content, and hitting that notification bell for more of his content.
Yep, and don't forget to do the same for DigiPanda here. He is an awesome content creator, and I love seeing his videos as well.
Thank you. That jokes aside, we know that this card is not real, but I do wanted to give your channel the shout out and also promote it as well.
Yep, that main effect kind of threw me off at first when I was thinking about making this, but
oh, not at all.
Yep, first card is always a fun card. So
yes,
let's go ahead and get started with our second card of the 15 that we're going to be going through. So here we have Patamon Rookie from BT2. Tell me your thoughts, Panda, about this card.
Okay, looking at this initially, I want to say that the card is real because Patamon is a level 3. BT2 is, I believe, correct. But all the other, categories, the Rookie, the Vaccine, the Sea Beast are also correct. I want to say the DP is also correct. One thing I am noticing is that there's nothing on the right-hand side, which makes me want to say that the card is fake, but I don't know why otherwise.
If you're referring to the little artist
yes.
box here, that's something I forgot to mention beforehand, but I don't count that for these card categories. As much as I love the artists and appreciate their work, I don't fill it in for all these cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to say the card is real. The only other thing that I could see it being an issue is either the play cost is 5 or the card is an uncommon. Those would be my two guesses, but right now I do want to say it's real.
So if you're going with real, your answer actually would be entirely correct. This is exactly what the card is.
Perfect.
I don't know if you remember this card, but like in the early days, this was actually a Rookie Rush card. They would use it for the mirror match. Because when their opponent floods the board, they flood it with a free minion in return.
For me, I couldn't decide if the play cost was actually supposed to be 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that threw me off.
I mean, it's a very unique card in like what it does, though, too. But yeah, 5-cost rookies, I don't think we really have that many besides like the exorbitantly stat or unplayed points. Yeah, Hexblot. I think that's another deck that actually saw use for this card for
temporarily. I don't think I would main deck it because it'd be kind of a filler rookie in between for the deck, but I didn't really view it as playable over time, so I think that it was viewed as more of a Rookie Rush mirror and potentially a sideboard card.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, so you are 2 for 2. Let's take a look at card number 3 here. So tell me your thoughts, Panda, about this card.
Something about this seems off. I don't know what it is. Okay, so the memory cost for Chumon is correct. It does Digivolve for 0 cost from a level 2 black. All turns, your opponent can't gain memory except with Tamer effects. That's also true. It's level 3, it's Chumon. It doesn't have an inheritable. BT3061. Let's see. On average, we're looking at 10 cards per a color, with the first 6 being probably closer to 7 to 8, and the first 6 are always registered to eggs. So 61 number numerically is correct. It is a common. The only thing that is a red flag for me is I want to say its DP should be 1, but I still want to say it is an accurate card.
I will say your analysis on like the card number, I love it.
Yeah,
Because it's a pattern that a lot of sets follow.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to lock in final answer of it being correct?
I will lock in final answer correct, sir.
Well, this card is actually a fake, and you actually did point it out.
Darn. Is it the 1K DP?
It is 1K DP. For whatever reason, they decided to cripple black by giving it either like a lesser quality version of every card, or just getting it slower in the game.
Because my mind also saw Gazimon 2K, Madoki Betamon 2K. I think Terriermon is also 2K. Red and yellow do not have memory blockers, so in my mind I thought maybe it's 2K. It's either 2 or 1. I couldn't remember personally, but everything else seemed to check the dot, so I was like, we'll go with it.
Yeah. It's just, for whatever reason, black has that weird one where it doesn't follow the traditional pattern.
Correct. And it doesn't feel like black has enough support even today with, if you look at all the different tribal decks, you have Agumon, Gabumon, Patamon even, and they all have the capability to search for, their champions, ultimates, and megas. With black, there's not really much searchability except for maybe D Brigade, and even that's a little bit limited to just D Brigade.
Yeah, and you got the lottery stuff with the suit guys and Edamons, but it's weird. And the Mames technically have
the Mames, yes,
they do have a lottery. Gosh, yeah. Next card here. This is a card where you either really know it or you've not even seen this card before, because it is
I have
niche.
Seen this card, and it is very niche. It is a promo. I know that part. You do add this card to your hand. It does cost 0. The art is correct. If you have Taikami in play, you may place one of your Agumon cards at the bottom of its owner's deck to trigger draw 2. You do draw 2 cards, I believe, and then you trash that Digimon's Digivolution cards. P24. The promo numbering is always the weird part, because they're not really sequential. There's not really a pattern to them. The only ones I have memorized at heart at this point are 8, 9, 10, and 11, which are Agumon, Greymon, Weregarurumon, and Garurumon, actually. I believe that's right. If not, that's 9, 10, 11, and 12.
It sounds right for those promos.
Yeah. I want to say this card is correct, and I want to lock that in as a final answer because I don't see anything other that's glaring. The draw 2 looks weird, which makes me think the effect has been faked to some point, because normally you see draw +2 in orange. But regardless of that weird spacing, I do believe you bottom deck an Agumon and you do draw 2 cards. So, and you have to have Taikamiya in play. So that's why, for those reasons, I'm going to lock in that this card is real.
So, when I saw this card, one of my friends, or friend Lana actually from the last episode, is like, this is going to be a great card in Agumon, Zach. I'm telling you, you have these conditions met almost all the time. It's plus, and it's actually, you draw 3 cards, so this is fake.
It is 3, okay. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3. The problem with this card with Agumon was that it has to be specifically Agumon. It can't be Agumon Expert. It can't be Agumon Bond of Bravery. It has to be just explicitly Agumon.
If it worked with Bond of Bravery, it would be deleted at the end of the turn. It's a great way to just kind of end it so it doesn't become kind of worthless. Like, you would get extra cycle.
Yeah, you would definitely draw 3 more, cycle through, draw potential more cards for 0, and then you can end the turn by, playing another card from there. Man, challenging. 1 for 2, 1 for 3 actually so far.
2 for 2 because we had this one. This one counts.
Oh, okay, we'll count that.
Yeah. Now, how about this one? So we have Armadillomon here, a rookie from BT1. Has the 2/1/4 sat line, play for 2, Evo for 1, 4K DP. Tell me your thoughts on this Panda.
All right. So, so the artwork is correct. The DP looks right. I don't recall Armadillomon being... So I know there's a blue Armadillomon that's 2/1. I don't think there's a yellow one. Wait, I think this is actually supposed to be the blue one. So I'm going to lock in that this card is not real. Final.
Yeah, and that'd be 100% correct analysis. This is actually a blue card. Just color swapped it because the whole Armadillo armor is mostly yellow base. So I figured it'd be a fun one to swap color on.
It's a close one. Is the blue one in BT1 or is it BT2?
It's everything else is as it should be for the card.
Okay,
actually.
so it's just a color swap palette.
Yeah, it's just a color palette swap.
Cool.
Yeah, I love doing little color swap ones because it's something that you feel would be super obvious one way or another. But this one's definitely like one of those middle ones, and I think this technically saw play a little bit in Rookie Rush in the early days.
It did, and it is seeing some brief plays also with some other blue-yellow decks that are utilizing, the Angemons, the Armadillomon Armor Digivolution lines.
Yeah, so it's not complete bulk. Yeah, let's move on to a tamer though. We haven't done any of these yet.
No, we have not. All right. I know the 3 cost is correct. I know the security cost is correct. The security effect is correct. I know it's supposed to be a rare, and I know its number is correct as well. Because 85 is supposed to be Tai Kamiya, which leaves Matt as 86, TK is 87, and then it goes to green, which is 87 being Mimi Tachikawa, and then Izzy 88. So those are correct. If you have a level 5 or higher Digimon in play, you can suspend this tamer to reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a Digimon card, add it to your hand, otherwise place it at the bottom of your deck. I know that if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play is correct. If that card is a Digimon card, now I feel like conditionally it should have been if it's a green Digimon, but I also am not 100% sure on that part. So I'm going to lock in it is a real card. Final answer.
So this is one of these other cards where if you didn't play the early days of Digimon, you probably never played this card.
Correct.
But this is actually a fake card because of its cost. It should be a 2-cost tamer.
Is it 2?
It is 2, and it's also not color restricted on the search. The only reason I know that personally is because my friend Landon, previous episode again, he's a great friend. We played this game a lot.
Yeah.
He would play this in his green Omnimon deck in 1.0.
Green Omnimon.
And here's the story to it. He would turbo up to a Titamon and then use this Izzy to search for Volkdramon or Omnimon. And that's how he made green Omnimon work. He ran like 2 or 3 Volkdramons.
Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't think he was 2-cost, though, because 2-cost tamers were so rare back in the day. It seemed this definitely seems like a 3-cost tamer to me for some reason.
Yeah, it seems fair at 3. But
yeah,
it's a 2-cost tamer. I played it for a little bit. I think I even had a copy on my desk here. But like the effect just wasn't that like. It's a good effect. It's a +1. It's like an extra draw phase. But yeah, it's 2 costs here. I have a copy here. Just making sure now. I checked everything before my question.
No, I believe you. For me, any tamer that's not like, increase the attack of all your Digimon by 1,000, gain a memory if your opponent has Digimon with no Digivolution sources. All of your security Digimon get plus 2,000. Like the only green Izzy that I was familiar with that was 2-cost was the one from the starter deck that gains you a memory when your opponent's Digimon suspended on your turn, and that's where I was kind of like, this is 2-cost.
Yeah, it's pretty good for its memory cost, but the payoff just is kind of wonky. But like draw is great in green, but it's just like
I'm wondering whether you could apply this more with green hybrid.
Yeah, with Terriermon especially.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Terriermon especially.
the one that just recently did really well because
Hmm.
it's cheap and you can play it for one if you have a green tamer you play. I think is
Hmm.
what its main line is. Yeah. Now speaking of green, we got another green card here for you. Togemon from EX1
One.
36.
When one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn. Digivolve. I noticed that in the EX1 set, a lot of the Digivolution costs for like green that you normally see for a Digivolution cost of 1 were now 2 for some reason. Like I know for sure Stingmon had that. I know Kabuterimon had that because you could reduce the evolution cost going up later. Vegetation, data, champion. I want to say the 36 is correct. 5k sounds about right and is average for a typical level 4. When one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn. That I'm not sure of. There were very few EX1 cards that I played with when EX1 officially dropped. I think I might have touched less than 5 cards from the set, maybe 8 cards in the set. That was the wasn't a set I was too crazy about.
You aren't the only one because like if you didn't play the Vmon line or any of the blue
Mhm.
cards, you didn't really play much from it.
Most people would just buy it for the machine Dramons or maybe the analog use, ice walls. I personally wanted just the Tyrannomon for Eos Agubond, and I was all about color mixing and making these really jank decks. That being said, I'm gonna go with real final answer.
Yep, and you are entirely correct on this one. EX1 just had so many lackluster cards. It's like, why would you consider it for the most part unless it fills a really good niche? And green doesn't really need DP buffs as most of their level 6s are actually pretty beefy. Like, I think 13 to 15,000 is like their average threshold.
And I also think that even in today's meta, you don't really do DP climb. More so, you want to suspend stuff and beat over it. And most of your suspension effects are built into inheritables or something along those lines.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, poor Togemon, like, he's real. He's just not good. Now, here's another EX1 card.
Baptism by Fire. I vaguely remember this card, and I do know it's a rare, and I know you activate this card's main effect. 3 cost, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less, and blocker. This card, I remember reading this, and I thought, this is a really bad card. Like, it just didn't feel like you would ever find a use for it because you have to hit a Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. That's fine, but it also has to have blocker. And I feel like we're in the, let's see, 6 set, 7 set, 8 set. We've gone past 3 sets at this point where it feels like blockers don't mean anything, and I don't see many people running blockers, so this card never found a home in any deck. It's got a really cool artwork, don't get me wrong.
I think a lot of EX1 cards really did that. Like, art
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. A lot of the alt arts were kind of throwbacks to the Digimon Digi Battle series. I played the heck out of that card game, but delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less and blocker. This card feels legit because of the effect is so bad, and everything else feels like it lines up. So I'm going to say that this card is 100% real. Final answer.
So the actual answer is this is a fake card because I made it better than what it was.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a 6,000 DP or less threshold.
That's even worse.
This card's really bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it is 8k, it could hit a Cherrymon, which I think was like the best application for that DP
Yeah.
buff I could think of. But like, it's rough.
But for 3 memory, it's kind of like
It's efficient, but just run Crimson Blaze or Atomic Blaster at that point, where it's
and
less
even then,
conditional, more fun.
some Digimon already have the built-in delete a blocker. So like you have Blitz War Greymon from EX1 that can delete a blocker if you have a red tamer out. You have the BT5 War Greymon that can pop a blocker too, and so it just felt like, why would you run this over those.
Yeah, like if Digimon has the effect, why bother with the option? I know
Yeah.
people talked about that with Delicate Plan and the War Greymon at one point.
Yeah.
Like, why run one when you can just run it in the Digi?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this card's just bad.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've kind of been hitting you with some of these less meta-relevant cards here. So when we get towards the
Oh,
end,
for sure. For sure.
There's going to be a bit more relevant ones towards the end.
Oh no, you're fine. This is just testing my knowledge on like older cards where I'm like, I didn't use this because there were better cards. Like Niaromon, I didn't use it because I was using Upamon.
Yeah.
The problem with the way Bandai released the game in America is that they released 1.0 and 1.5, so you didn't really get a full experience of BT1, BT2, BT3. You got a hodgepodge of a mixture of it. So you kind of got a mixed meta of what you would have been seeing. And Niaromon was one of those unfortunate babies where I feel like Upamon came out like at the same time or before, and it just was left out.
Yeah.
While this Digimon suspended, all of your security Digimon get plus 1000 DP. That sounds right. BT2003, that also sounds right because I think the first set, BT1 gave us like 2 to 3 different eggs. I think it was 2. I think it was 2 different eggs for each color. And then BT2 is where we started getting individual colored eggs. Because this is where we had, red, blue, yellow, green, black, and purple eggs now. I don't see anything wrong with this because we got rid of the rare eggs in BT2 to make them uncommons. So I do want to say that could be a common. Oh, man. You're going to get me on something like that, too. I'm going to go with its real final answer.
Yep. And you got it. It's entirely real. It's just such an awkward egg that never really had a home. Maybe you can put it in like the Tribal Angel deck from EX1 because they're focused on security buffs and debuffs. But yeah,
it felt terrible using this card during the Adventure Cup when Niaromon had to be in Kari Kamiya's deck. Because there was just no synergy. Like all of yellow had really awkward synergy because with TK, he was like, I got a Tokomon that gains me 1000 DP when I DP deplete something to 0, but then everything else is about recovery. So and with Kari, it was like, okay, I got DP buffs, but I'm also going to beat DP debuff, and I also got recovery. And I'm like, make up your mind. What do you want to do?
Yeah, just for like the lines to comically synergize seems so weird unless they come in the exact same set.
Exactly.
But they've been doing a lot better with that lately.
Oh, absolutely.
So much more direction.
Yes.
So here's a card that is a lot newer compared to some of these other ones. It's a Wizardmon level 4 from Purple. Go ahead, tell me your thoughts on this, Panda.
So looking at this, the play cost looks right. DP also looks right. I know it was a promo. I don't know if the new number 46 is correct. Because like I said, again, if I played the promo enough times, I probably wrote scripts for it multiple times, and at that point, I will have memorized the number. I know it's Champion, I know it's Dad, I know it's Wizard. When you delete one of your Digimon, gain 1 memory. Once per turn, when you delete one of your Digimon, gain 1 memory. I thought you did gain 1 memory, but I don't believe you delete one of your Digimon. I thought it was something else. And for that reason, I'm going to say it's fake final answer.
Yeah, Wizardmon's known for like kind of like the Leomon meme of just dying. That's why he's like, I think he's like a blocker. No, Galamon was the blocker. He gave retaliation from like the older 1.0 set. But yeah, this is fake though. When this card was revealed, because I think we got this in America first.
Yes.
People were excited to use this in Lillifloop because it's when you cast an option, you gain a memory.
Gotcha. Okay, I was like, I thought it was something else, not when you delete one of your Digimon. You might have fooled me, though, if you had made it on deletion, gain 1 memory, because I would have been like, this seems a little too convenient for the show.
Yeah, which I do love it when they have those little thematic things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
like,
Leomon's gotten a lot of those on deletion effects too.
yeah, one day we'll get like a good Leomon deck, but it's more of a meme right now.
Yes.
But yeah, you are right entirely. It's just fake because of the inherited. So this card, another fun card, Grace Cross Freezer, if I can say it.
For 4 memory until the end of your next turn, your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack. BT1 100. That makes sense considering we had. With BT1, you end on Tamers with Izzy at, I think, 88. That means you have option cards, about 5 of them, I think, that are red. Maybe 6. So math-wise, that checks out. This would be one of like the last blue option cards because typically you go common, uncommons, like option cards, and then you go into your rares, and they're also typically by play cost. So this would have been a higher cost one. That being said, I'm going to say the card is fake. Final answer.
Fake, and what reason would you pinpoint it to?
So the big giveaway for me is I know it's a rare and the gold foil stamping just disappears halfway down. So something has been modified in the middle.
Oh. Yeah. So this is a fake card. It's because I modified the main. I didn't even realize the gold foiling disappeared. But it should be till the end of your opponent's turn, not end of your next turn, which it wouldn't really make that big of a difference.
Yeah.
Play-wise.
If you played it, yeah, yeah. But I saw the gold stamp just end, and I'm like, I feel like there's a trick here.
Yeah, you see it going along here, and it
kind
of dies along there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has been modified, so it is fake. This is probably the meanest fake I have, I think. But yeah, you are entirely right. Here's a fun card, though.
BT3020 Patamon Rookie. Let's see. 3 cost, 2 cost. Wait. I feel like this is a color swap again. Because didn't we have a blue Patamon? I want to say that's fake because it should be blue. Final answer.
Yeah, you got it.
Don't you do this to me!
I love showing just like vanilla cards because people are like, it's the stats, it's the play cost, it's something wrong. No, it's just the color. I had the color swaps when I was making this episode. I'm like, these are just so nice.
Yeah, no, like, I agree. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, I vaguely remember this Patamon, but I vaguely remember it being blue. Wait, is this another? Yeah, so that's where it got me there.
Yeah, the color swap ones, I love making them, but they're so hard to make convincingly.
Yeah. I might be able to show you a way to do it if you're interested later.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I can help you out with those.
I appreciate it. And then we are getting close to the end here. I have a black option for you here, Laser Eye.
Uh-huh. Trigger Digivolve 1 on up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon. Activate this card's main effect. That seems right. I never played this card. I remember opening it from like the 4 black starter decks I opened, but I was always like, this card is bad. It doesn't do anything because it just leaves the body on board. One thing that I've discussed with several other players is that, you know, with black, the D-Digivolve mechanic should have been D-Digivolve, and if it hits level 3, delete it.
Yeah. It's a mechanic that they overvalue, I think.
Yeah. And that's why with, you know, BT8 Metal Greymon, this set, I was like, this card's good. I like it. I want to say that this card is real. Final answer, because I have no idea why it would be fake unless it's play cost, which the only thing that I could see about the play cost, it might be a 5 cost, but that's all I have.
Yeah. With your locked-in answer of it being real, you are correct.
Uh-huh.
This is a real card. It's just bad. And like you're saying, though, like, it should have done something if it stopped digivolving to like make it better, or at least be a lot cheaper because Bandai just overvalued digivolve. evolving so much. You have
I
Blitz
agree.
Greymon, which is the Digivolve 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate Flare was fine because it actually deleted something and removed.
Oh, it's wideboard removal. That's the best part about it.
Yeah. It's also anti-aggro, which black is probably the best against aggro to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I think that's why.
but yeah.
I think that's also why people are running black and D Reapers, because of the fact that they have the capability to gain more memory potentially as your opponent tries to build wide and beat in for a game. Yellow decks are going for security recovery, but I think there's other colors out there that could still play with Reaper, and that's all I'll say for now.
Yeah, like this option, like a lot of these cards, they just don't have a good home anywhere.
Yeah. Ooh, I love this card.
Yeah.
Looking at it, okay, so the Digivolution cost is correct. The DP is correct. The Your Turn effect, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, is correct. Marsmon BT8, I think it is 18, and I think it is an uncommon. So, and the Mega Vaccine, Shaman, and Olympus 12 stat lines are all correct. The only issue that I could potentially see, I'm going to lock in my final answer as this card is fake. And my reasoning for it is I think the play cost is 11, not 12.
So this is a card that is actually real. It is
Darn it!
Entirely correct. Yeah.
Darn it!
It's just Bandai. It's a pretty typical stat line for it to be like 12-3-12 or 12-3-13. But I think they just really value the attacking over unsuspected Digimon a lot, which is why Rusty costs 4 to go into.
Which is so weird. I think Rusty, if they're going to do that to Rust Tyrannomon, they need to give better support for the fact that they've put in some Tyrannomon in red, they put some Tyrannomon in green, and then they threw some into black, and I'm like, can you make up your color choice? And then they recently released, X Tyrannomon, so now we have that in purple too.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's decent support overall, but it's just, like, not in a good package yet. They just need a way to make it very linear.
Yeah. But hold on to your Rust Tyrannomons, because if they drop something that makes it really good, those old Rust Tyrannomons from BT1 are going to be a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like X Anti-Buy. Like, they just gave you an archetype, and they slowly gave you more, and slowly gave you more every set.
Yep.
And they're doing that with Tyrannomons.
Yeah.
And this is the last card we have here for this episode. And if you see this card, you might recognize it.
I do recognize it, and I do want to immediately say that it is fake.
Fake? Why is that? That was a really quick response.
BT4004. So the green Digi-Egg in BT4 was, I believe, Budmon. Yokomon comes in a later set, and I believe it's set 5. Final answer.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're entirely right. Digiburst was introduced in BT4, which is this is one of my favorite fakes I've made because it gets a lot of people. They're like, yeah, it makes sense. We have the Lilamon package, we have Nidhogg. Yeah, it's BT4, and they just completely overlook that. Green TK really became a thing in, or got more support in BT5 because of this egg, especially.
Yes. And it made some of your Digimon bigger. So if you went into your Grand Kawagamon and you needed to beat over something, you could Digiburst this, swing in, and then, if you happen to have, the jamming Patamon underneath, you can Digiburst that out and then go into your Chaosmon for the jamming and also piercing. Yeah.
But yeah, that should have been all 15 cards. What were your thoughts on this?
They're really fun. It made me really think about some of the older cards. I think the color palette swaps for me are easier because I'll recognize cards from going, how many boxes I've opened every set so far, Eagle. Sometimes I open 12 boxes. Sometimes I open 24 boxes. So for me, seeing these cards in repetition, I kind of see the color patterns. I see the numerical patterns. It's more so the niche informations that you don't expect it to be, like play cost, DP wise. Those are some of the main ones that I think will get me every time. And of course, knowing your set, if the card is played a lot or I've played it a lot, I'll probably know it and recognize it a lot more. So this was a really fun thing to do, and I hope you keep doing this on your channel.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. With that being said, thank you so much for watching today, guys. That being said, take care and have a nice night.